people who call North Carolina home have a lot to appreciate and live for. Beautiful mountains and beaches, bustling cities, and the best universities. Here in the Tar Heel State, we're working to keep women in good health to enjoy it all. One way, by providing protection against a deadly virus that causes cancer. According to the Centers for Disease Control, more than 350 North Carolina women are diagnosed with cervical cancer each year. It's estimated 100 of those women will die from the disease. Hi, I'm Deborah Holt-Noel, and I'd like to talk to you about how you can protect yourself against cervical cancer. You've already taken an important step in preventing cervical cancer by getting your first dose of the HPV vaccine. Now, with just a little more commitment, you can be fully protected against the deadly virus that causes this cancer. To prevent this deadly cancer from harming you, it is important for you to get all 3 of the HPV vaccinations and an annual exam. Every death from cervical cancer is a tragedy, especially because we have a vaccine that can prevent it. This special project is aimed at reducing this type of cancer. A part of it includes watching this video about HPV, cervical cancer, and Pap testing. Commit now to getting the 2nd and 3rd doses of the vaccine, as well as an annual exam. Let's hear what some of our neighbors here in North Carolina want you to know about preventing cervical cancer.
Human papillomavirus, or HPV, is the most common sexually transmitted infection in America. Some even call it the common cold of STDs. HPV is transmitted through skin-to-skin contact during sexual activity. You don't actually have to have sex to get it. You only have to come in contact with an infected person's genital area. According to the Centers for Disease Control, there are over 100 strains of the HPV virus. The 2 most dangerous strains are number 16 and 18. These strains have the potential to cause several types of cancer, including cervical cancer. The scary part of HPV and cervical cancer is that normally you don't have any visible symptoms, so there's no way to know if you have it. Like many cancers, cervical cancer can spread to other parts of the body, causing reproductive problems, and in some cases, death. Cancer is a leading cause of death in North Carolina. The HPV vaccine and regular HPV and Pap tests can help control one of these cancers. You got the first dose of the vaccine today. You'll get the 2nd dose in 2 months, and you'll get the last dose in 6 months. Go ahead and schedule the 2nd and 3rd doses of the vaccine today so that you won't forget. A little discomfort now from the vaccine and a Pap test can prevent a lot of discomfort later.
A diagnosis of HPV or cervical cancer can change your life forever. Patricia Gregory didn't have the opportunity to get the HPV vaccinations and was diagnosed with cervical cancer when she was 24 years old.
I'm a veteran, and I had been on a deployment, and while I was there I became ill, and so as soon as I got home I followed up with my family doctor, and they did a Pap smear. And it came back as a class 3, and my doctor said, and I was scheduled to go on another deployment, and the doctor said, well, when you get back from this next deployment, come back and see me and we'll do another Pap smear. He referred me to a gynecologist. This time they did a colposcopy, and that came back as positive with cervical cancer. It was very humbling, and you realize that, you know, life is precious.
The HPV vaccine can prevent the 2 most dangerous types of HPV. Those 2 types cause 70% of cervical cancers. The vaccination comes in 3 doses, and you need to get all 3 shots in order to fully protect yourself against these dangerous types of HPV cancer. If you only get 1 or 2 doses, you won't be fully protected against cervical cancer. In addition to the vaccine, you should also have an annual exam as recommended by your doctor. Doctors and nurses do Pap tests every day, and they will walk you through the entire process.
The Pap smear is one part of a complete annual exam. It may not be done every year depending on your age and your risk factors, but the annual exam, the head-to-toe exam with emphasis on your uterus and vagina and reproductive organs, should be done every year with your provider. It's an easy test, and it can save your life. This virus is around in men and women in our population very commonly, and many women are infected and don't know it. Sometimes the woman's body will just clear this virus by using its immune system, but sometimes it invades the cells and can cause changes in the cells which can become cancer. That's why we do the Pap smear, to determine whether you have it, and if you do, whether it's causing any abnormal changes. In that case, we can actually treat some of the changes before they become cancer.
The regular Pap test screening is directed by your doctor, along with the full series of the HPV shots, is the best tool doctors and nurses have to protect against and prevent cervical cancer.
44% of women ages 20 to 24 already have HPV, and most sexually active women will have it, sexually active people will have it in their lifetime. And HPV is spread very easily, easier than most other sexually transmitted diseases because it's transmitted skin to skin. You don't even need bodily fluids involved to transmit HPV. HPV is spread skin to skin contact, so it's highly, highly contagious. So a vaccine that would prevent that is key.
Doctors recommend you get the vaccine as early in your life as you can. This includes women and girls who aren't even sexually active yet. In fact, many medical associations recommend you should get all 3 doses of the vaccine before you are sexually active, and that's why the vaccine is approved for girls as young as 9 years old. If you are sexually active and if you choose to tell your partner about the vaccine, they may have questions. Sabrina Toppin is a public health graduate student at East Carolina University.
What people don't know is that men can also carry the virus. And since men are not tested for the virus, it can be transferred to you and you wouldn't even know. Relationships change, life happens, so you don't know who you'll end up with tomorrow. Right now you may think that this relationship is going to be forever, but you never know. And it's just good just to protect yourself. I already got it. It wasn't a big deal.
Remember, the shot only takes a few seconds and you're protected. Make time for your health in your busy schedule. Commit to all 3 doses today by scheduling your follow-up vaccinations. Then have your annual exam. I'm Deborah Holt-Noel. Congratulations on taking charge of your body in the fight to prevent cervical cancer.
This is the closest thing we have to a vaccine for cancer. This could prevent cervical cancers for years and years, and it could lead to vaccinations for other cancers. This particular sexually transmitted disease, HPV, is a gateway disease to cervical cancer. If you can prevent it upstream, that's the key, and that's the takeaway message, and that's why everyone should get it.
People think, well, this won't happen to me. I'm living proof that it can happen.
So getting the vaccine as soon as possible, getting all 3 shots can save your life.